Happy New Year, my friends. It is January the 5th as I am recording this, meaning CM Punk vs. Bron Breakker is going to go down in a few seconds, but I don't want to wait for that. I want to be a daring predictor here on the wonderful platform known as YouTube, so we are going to try and predict the Royal Rumble 2026 card before it does make any sense. Now, as always, a lot of these are bold predictions, because anyone can do normal predictions, but they're also based in reality, so if you want to do the same, please do drop me a comment below, and please do like the video, share the video, and of course subscribe, which is the financial joy of YouTube, even though that doesn't give you any money. It just makes you feel good, okay? So I would appreciate it. I am Simon Miller, professional idiot. Let's go. So I've got 2 Royal Rumble matches and I've whacked in 3 normal matches, singles matches, championship matches, only because it is in Saudi Arabia and I think the WWE will change up their template just a little bit. Now, my women's title match, at the moment, you can be like, what are you talking about? But it all comes down to who I picked to be the Women's Royal Rumble winner. So I thought about it, and I understand we're talking about a Raw match, but on SmackDown, we've just lost B-Fab, and we've just lost Meechin, so I hope they're okay. Now, while I understand that doesn't tie into anything that Stephanie Vaquer is going to do, I would imagine it does kind of change plans to what we were going to do with Jade Cargill, maybe even on this show. I know a Jade Cargill versus a Meechin, or a Jade Cargill versus a B-Fab, I can't remember their names, doesn't feel like a Royal Rumble match. But I feel like WWE would want to get a women's match on this card. I didn't think Stephanie Vaquer was going to be able to start anything. And even though there are rumors out there saying, oh, they are going to do Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan, we're going to do it in a while. Spoiler, I don't have Liv Morgan winning the Royal Rumble. So I think it should be Liv versus Stephanie. I think especially because Raquel Rodriguez just tried and failed to win that championship. We should go straight to Liv Morgan feud now. I mean, we've still got basically a month to build it up, and I think Liv Morgan should defeat Stephanie Vaquer. Now, this is just predicting the match card, but on this one, I feel like I do need to predict it. Stephanie Vaquer is great, right? But I don't think she has been put in the best position ever since she won that championship. She's never really had a proper feud. She goes with Nikki Bella. She comes out with Nikki Bella. She does something with Raquel Rodriguez. Then they kind of stop. We haven't really lit a fire under her ass. So maybe she is just one of these better baby faces that is better at chasing a title than being the champion. And then when she does hold it for a second time, we can learn from our mistakes on round 1 and make sure round 2 is a lot better. And also, why stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne? Everybody loves Liv Morgan. She's going to be babyface sooner or later anyway, because she is so popular. So before we get to that point, ain't no one turning Stephanie Vaquer heel. You can have Liv Knight, you can have Liv Morgan as a heel, win that championship, do everything with Dom, who apparently is going to be back soonish because his shoulder injury in 2-bag. That can then tie into the friction between the Judgment Day, and because you got the friction with the Judgment Day, that's when you can break up that group, or at least get to Judgment Day 3.0. But Liv Morgan will be sat on the top of the tree. You will also get a big old change in Saudi Arabia. I think WWE is going to want to do one of those. I was just thinking about it. Why wait? What are we waiting for? Royal Rumble is one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. I believe, and I could be wrong, in 2025, more people watch the Royal Rumble than any other show that WWE did, including WrestleMania. So that's going to happen again. And we already see Liv Morgan as a typically top star. Let's get it done. It'll be awesome. That's what I think is going to happen. But also there's a massive part of me that goes, there's no way. And I have made that up, but I think it works. So again, when you are talking about bold predictions, I think we have something here. Let's just lean into it. And I would also presume that both world championships are on the line. Now, how we're going to do this, I don't know. But we know the 3 Stages of Hell is coming in Berlin on SmackDown in a week or 2 weeks, whenever it is. Next week, right? I can't remember. It's soon. I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to win. Drew McIntyre has been such a despicable heel in the build-up, burning Dusty Rhodes pictures and who knows what else. Well, I guess it could happen if there's a surprise coming. I think Randy Orton coming back and saying, I want that championship. If you want to have a massive match at the Royal Rumble and Drew McIntyre is not going to win, I kind of had 2 proposals here. One, have Drew McIntyre win the 3 Stages of Heel, rematch them at the Royal Rumble and just give Cody his belt back. Drew McIntyre is not going to get a long run in this situation. So if you just want him to win one of the big ones, which is important for his character, I do think you could do that, right? Austin would chase belts all the time, and Undertaker would win it for a little time back in the Attitude Era. So we know it can work. And I just think when you look at the character of Drew McIntyre, him only being a champion for a month or so is better than, once again, like I say, him being in a big blow-off match and losing. And it does kind of put a little asterisk there, given what Cody Rhodes could potentially do at WrestleMania. But we'll all move on. We'll all forget about it. John Cena only retired 3 weeks ago, and everybody forgotten about 5 days. So John Cena was totally right. night. However, I've convinced myself that Cody is going to win. So just do the Randy Orton match. So there is no way the Randy Orton match is going to be a one and done. So Cody is probably going to have to do something on the Elimination Chamber. SmackDown has just now gone to 3 hours. So if you do want two megastars to prop that up, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are absolutely massive. I don't know when else Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, when WWE is going to do that feud, because we have been teasing it since 2024. And this nerd right here keeps going, oh, here it comes, here it comes. And it never comes, right? We are standing on ceremony, Mr. Wayne. So I would just like to get it done. I would just like to pull the trigger. And I don't know why you bring Randy back to look at that belt and say, I want that belt, man, and then not follow up on it again. It becomes a bit laborious, and you have to prop up that 3 hour SmackDown. WWE did a great job last week of proving they can do this. You could tell a lot of the stuff was elongated, but it was good stuff, so that was fine. The thing is, I think Randy Orton should beat Cody Rhodes during one of these, but maybe that could be the Drew McIntyre spot where Randy wins at the Rumble and they switch it back at the Elimination Chamber. You would get people watching, and you are going to spike ratings and all that other nonsense at the time that you do. It would probably also put butts in seats. And let's not forget as well, going into 2025, we had the John Cena stuff. The year before that, we had the Bloodline, the Cody stuff. This year, it kind of feels like you're going to have strong angles and strong stories, not to keep business where it is. I mean, I think it will dip a little bit, but I think WWE is always going to be strong now forever and a day. They just entered that sort of period where it doesn't feel like they're ever going to have a lull. But Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, I think, is something that fans would be super into. So why not? And also, because it's Saudi Arabia and because they pay so much money, as we have seen before, you do get a lot of these so-called dream matches. Though technically, we already had Cody versus Randy in a dream match in the King of the Ring that went to Saudi Arabia. But you can do it again for the WWE title, and you could even change the belt here, although I'm a bit 50-50 about that, whether that does happen. But I think Cody beats Drew. Randy is there. We get right into it. Maybe Randy doesn't turn. Maybe Randy Orton turns heel in that Royal Rumble match. So I think one of them would have to be a heel, and I think we're saving Cody's for later down the line. And that's how he justifies winning the belt. Wouldn't be mad at it. I've said it. And in terms of CM Punk versus LA Knight, I have decided that I think CM Punk is going to win. If you're watching this on Tuesday after that Raw against Bron Breakker, you can now laugh at me. But I kind of think Chris Jericho may be involved in this. I do not know. But there is a man who needs to come back at some point. He already has beef with CM Punk. And if he's not going to win the Royal Rumble, which I don't believe he is, I guess maybe I'm leading more with my heart here than I am my head. I'm going to go LA Knight CM Punk, right? At the Royal Rumble. It's a Big Four pay-per-view. I would imagine you'll get shenanigans there because Bron Breakker's going to be super mad if he doesn't win that World Championship later. And I also just think the one thing we never really had, we had teasers of it. We didn't really go full in because there were other factors like Jey Uso or who was the fourth guy? Seth Rollins. I think the promos between LA Knight and CM Punk, how you kind of get rid of the vision, I don't know. So maybe that's how Jericho ties in. I don't know. Maybe he's the guy that feuds with them for a little bit. That's a terrible idea. I've just thrown it out there. If you could just have a proper singles feud between CM Punk and LA Knight, I think LA Knight fans will be over the moon about this. They'll be super duper excited. You just know that if anyone can hang with CM Punk verbally, it would be him. And I think it could be one of those feuds that you can kind of ignore wins or losses, even though I know loads of people want LA Knight to win. But I think both will feel enhanced because of it. And also, they're the kind of feuds that I feel like we should be doing. Like LA Knight versus CM Punk, we've never really had the one-on-one thing. We obviously teased it going into the four-way at whatever the hell that was. Clash in Paris, did we do that four-way? And then they obviously went off in their separate directions. But LA Knight isn't back yet. Now listen, you absolutely, have I done this by accident? I didn't put him in the Rumble, did I? No, we're okay. But you could have LA Knight as a surprise in the Rumble. That's going to be great. People are going to pop. People will be excited. But if he's not going to win it, I think he's much better served being in a world title match but not walking away with the world title of the Royal Rumble than being in the LA Knight Royal Rumble. Although you can build feuds there. I've got a lot of guys in there that I don't think are going to win, but they will benefit with the feuds. But I think LA Knight's kind of done that already. So I'm going with CM Punk versus LA Knight mostly because I think those three matches, CM Punk versus LA Knight, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, and Stephanie versus Liv Morgan, all for championships, for world championships, I think is just a good idea in order to turn it into a superstar show and start the year off with a bang to try and set the scene for what we want to do for the next 12 months. And you can probably change two of them. You could probably change all... you won't change... CM Punk won't lose. If CM Punk doesn't lose tonight as I cut myself off, I don't believe he'll win at the Rumble. I believe there's long-term plans going on. But Orton could be a short-term champ. And Stephanie Vaquer can lose that belt, right? I love her and she's going to be awesome, right? She's super-duper talented. But it's not like we've got this amazing title run at the moment. It's kind of just there. Fun matches, but we haven't let into it as much as I think. Maybe that's more dream stuff, and forgive me if it is. Comment below... Now, it's going to be so damn hard, but fun. Let's do the women's run. So I go through my 30 that I bet I've miscounted, and I bet I've missed someone, so you're allowed to get mad at me. And I'll just give you a quick sort of thought on it. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. And no one needs that. I know how audience retention works. So we're going to start off massive. I've done this by accident, but I can't be bothered to rearrange this. Bianca Belair, I think, will be a surprise return. Almost a year since she has been away, so I hope her finger's doing all right. I think Bianca Belair will win. I'm going to shelve that for 1 second. We'll get back to it in a minute. Mickie James, I've got down as a surprise. I believe she's a free agent. Last time she was in with WWE, I don't think we treated her as the right way. Also, this isn't like I think these are going to be 1, 2, and 3. I haven't really come up with that. I don't know who's going to be number 1. Although, actually, my third on my list, I have Trish Stratus, who I also think will be there. For star power, you could start off with Trish Stratus as number 1 and Mickie James as number 2. That starts off the Women's Rumble with a bang. It will separate from the Men's Royal Rumble, which you always need to do. And, of course, they've had one of the most iconic feuds in history. You could even rematch them at WrestleMania, but don't do that. They should fight new people because it's much more exciting. Then I think Becky Lynch will be in there. Obviously, the IC champion, or her, I believe I will be the IC. I think she's beating Maxine later. Whoever throws her out will then start the IC program going into WrestleMania. Although you could also argue that maybe the WrestleMania match could be Stephanie versus Becky Lynch, and maybe Becky Lynch could win. That's not what I've done, but you could possibly do that. Obviously, Nia Jax will be in there. So this kind of ties in. I've got Nia Jax, I've got Rhea Ripley, I've got Io Sky, I've got Lash Legend, I've got Charlotte Flair, I've got Alexa Bliss, I've got Asuka and Kairi Sane. I don't think the women's tag team titles or any tag team titles will be defended on this show. And the reason that's all cool is because you can start some individual feuds, but as I've got 0 of them winning, not only can it actually enhance the tag team challenges that we are going to do. I imagine the Kabuki Warriors will still be the champions by then, but you can enhance all the sort of mini feuds we've got going on there and maybe start building some one-on-ones as well. Like maybe we do something with Charlotte and Alexa if they've already had their tag team title match up to that point. I think Lash Legend will throw a lot of people out as well. I think probably she will throw more out than anybody else in this. But I think it's a great way to continue to build the tag team division without forgetting the tag team division, which is my biggest fear. Then you can have a nice surprise return. Tiffany Stratton. She has been off TV now for like 3 months. So by this point, it'd be 4 months. I may be exaggerating, but she was a weekly part of the television show. So that will get a pop and it will feel exciting. And again, she could fall out with anybody on this list. And that's how you start her WrestleMania program. I've got Alba Fire in there. Originally that was Liv Morgan, but I put Liv Morgan in the title match. Obviously Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. There should probably be some beef there as well, because if Liv Morgan does win, you want to break up the Judgment Day. Jordynne Grace will be in it. I have her as the Iron Woman. I think she should last very, very long time. I can't speak English, but I think that's just a great way. I know she's done this before. I think when she was TNA Women's Knockouts Champion, but it's still a brand new version of Jordynne Grace. It's the NXT version. So I think the longer she can be in it, the more she can get established with the main audience, which I think is a good idea. So Ruka making her official debut on either Raw or SmackDown. You can let us know. Like, you should sell it as, oh my God, she's been called up and been put in the Raw Rumble. Absolutely. She should probably fall out with Raquel Rodriguez or someone like that, and you should do that match to establish her. I think Nikki Bella will be in it to be a nuisance. Obviously, Chelsea Green, who will probably be in and out in 2 seconds. Maxine Dupree, her and Becky Lynch will get into it after what goes down later. Bayley, Kiana James, who has to do something. I do have Julia in here as well. It all depends on what we're doing with this US title. I don't think it'll be defended on this show, though. So yeah, Bayley, Kiana James, I got Zelina Vega and Nikki Cross. That one's mostly for me. We don't use Nikki Cross enough. I do have AJ Lee, just because even though it's basically been confirmed she's doing a part-time schedule, she will be at WrestleMania. And I think probably she'll throw Becky Lynch out to continue on that program, or vice versa, and that's totally fine. And then I've got Natalya and Ivy Nile, and then Julia, as we've already talked about. They are my 30. Now, you may say, Simon, there's no sort of mega surprises there, but I think Trish and Mickie James would absolutely serve into that. And also, actually, when you go over past Royal Rumbles, WWE and Triple H do kind of shy away from that now. It's not like some of the older ones where you just get surprise. And also, a lot of people are back. A lot of people that maybe you would have called in, especially from the men's one, a Matt Cardona, a Dolph Ziggler, a Nick Nemeth, whatever. We've already kind of done that. But yeah, Bianca Belair is what you want to hear about, I presume. Although this is meant to be just a match card, but I understand why you want my winner. But we'll do proper predictions nearer the time too. I just think Jade Cargill is the champion. She's run out of challenges. And I think a WrestleMania match for me, given clearly this was meant to happen ages ago, but they both keep getting injured at the worst possible times. Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill for me, when Jade can be a mega heel and Bianca Belair can be a babyface. And Bianca Belair getting that win and having a big comeback, to me, is just a good WrestleMania moment. There's other things that we can... That's why I moved Liv Morgan out, right? Because some people want Liv Morgan to win. I was like, let's just pull the trigger now. To me, it's just the best story there. And I want to see that Bianca Jade match. I really, really do. Again, it goes back all the way to Jade's debut and everything with Naomi, her trying to kill Jade Cargill at last year's Elimination Chamber. Or is that this year's? Is that 2024? Oh my gosh, it probably is. Throw me off. It was last year's, right? I don't know. Time moves too fast for my brain. But I think there's elements you can do there as well. Like maybe we are going to have some mega tag team match at WrestleMania, yeah, that's right. So you can do that. And sure, Trish and Mickey, if they are in it, could do it. But I think Bianca Belair winning and then saying, Jade, I'm coming after you, cements a return. That would be really fun. Everybody would like it. I'm going with that. And we'll do the same for the men's. I've convinced myself that if you are watching this video on the where's my calendar? The 6th of January, I think Chris Jericho is going to pop up later. Adam Pearce on the internet said, who can break the walls down? I mean, maybe you just want to start the teasing. Either way, if he doesn't debut there, he'll be on the Rumble. So I've got him in there. I have Roman Reigns for obvious reasons. I've got Bronson Reed, I've got Bron Breakker, I've got Jey Uso, I've got Jimmy Uso. I've got the 10th best wrestler in the world last year, according to me, Solo Sikoa, because he entertains me. Of course, Matt Cardona will in it. Of course, Finn Balor will be in it. Then I've got a couple of returns. Chad Gable. Did you see that picture of him in the gym the other day? He's clearly good to go again. There's nothing for him to do, so I would use him as a surprise in the Royal Rumble, only because I don't have that many surprises, because again, a lot of people already come back, and you have to get them to Saudi Arabia, which kind of changed the game, because my other one is Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu should throw out a bunch of people. I think Chad Gable should look awesome. If you want to do a Chad Gable versus Jacob Fatu match, you can have them collide. But I would have them come out, obviously not this close next to each other, but I would make sure they leave the Royal Rumble feeling like massive deals. Get them right back into the action because they were doing great before they had to leave. AJ Styles, Gunther, I got Penta, I got Rusev, I got El Grande Americano #1. I got Sami Zayn, who also could probably be the Iron Man because it ties directly into this wonderful story that he wants to be the world champion. Great way to it is the Royal Rumble. Then, of course, I think Trick Williams should throw him out because I think Trick Williams should be in this too. Obafemi should probably debut on this show if we can call it that. I think I've got it written here. He should eliminate at least 8 people. I think the record is 14. If you can get to 14, you should do it. Whatever you do, because I don't think Obafemi's going to win, have him destroy people, all right? So that's what Obafemi has to do. Joe Hendry will be there. The Miz will be there. Probably to carry on their feud that may even culminate at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar will be in this. And that makes it very interesting. I get to that. Damian Priest, Aleister Black. Here is my big surprise, given that WWE just announced a Puerto Rico show. I think Bad Bunny should be in the Royal Rumble, and whoever the flub he is going to take on someone like that show, I have to imagine why else do it. You can start that too. He'll get a massive pop everywhere. The guy is a massive star. Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, and of course, Siobhan Evans. Now, with the men, I always forget someone. You're now screaming at your TV, and I'm sorry, okay? I am stupid. Like, I didn't put Rusev in there. I did put Rusev in there. It's fine. Everybody breathe. I thought I'd already made a mistake. In terms of winners, I think this is super hard. Roman Reigns is currently the favourite, which means nothing now. It's going to change 1,000 times the next 3 weeks. If Roman Reigns wins, you can do Cody versus Roman 3 at WrestleMania. That's a massive match. However, when I look at this, and again, it all depends on what we're going to do with Brock Lesnar, I think I would have Gunther win. If Gunther has just beaten John Cena and we're trying to make him into the man, you can get to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes in so many different ways, right? You absolutely can. And I would have Gunther win. And I would have Gunther take on either CM Punk or if a Bron Breakker is going to win. I don't know, you're now saying, but I thought Bron Breakker was going to win this championship. I agree with you. I feel like because he's so much younger than Gunther and because Gunther defeated John Cena, I almost think that Gunther has to be the priority. And I think if you're the guy to retire John Cena, you probably should be the champion. He also should throw out AJ Styles. And he should also, well, this is the other one, right? I think if you put a gun to my head, I would go with Roman Reigns because I think Brock Lesnar and Gunther are going to get into it during this. And instead of giving Gunther a world championship match, he is going to defeat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which would be huge, right? It just would be, especially if he could decimate him. If he could beat him like Goldberg did in 1 minute 38, I think that would be awesome. But that's where I'm kind of leaning. I think Brock Lesnar and Gunther will get into it. Maybe they eliminate each other. Gunther will get that win at WrestleMania and maybe even retire the guy when he's good to go. And that is... I mean, you have to do... Brock Lesnar now has to become John Cena from 2014, right? That's what Gunther needs to do to Brock, but he may just do it. Maybe that's why Brock did destroy John Cena at WrestlePalooza, and that's when I start thinking, especially if Gunther throws out AJ Styles as well, I'd be so damn mad. That's why I think Roman Reigns is probably going to win. Don't know why I said his name like that. But the interesting part is if Chris Jericho is in this, you'd have to start his WrestleMania program. I don't know, maybe it could be Austin, it could be Austin Theory, I'm just saying, it could be somebody from the Vision. We talked about that on my Chris Jericho video that I did a week ago today, so check it out. But yes, that's my list. And again, it's probably 32 names. You're like, why do I watch this stupid channel? I would totally agree with you. But obviously Chris Jericho will be in there for ages. But I do think he'll either debut here or he'll already be back by the time we get there. Because there was a rumour, and I don't know why this would be true, that it's hard to get people to Saudi Arabia with other people knowing you can't do surprises. There must be a way. But let's say that is the case, then sure. But Roman Reigns would be the guy where I was leaning towards. But that is my Royal Rumble sort of prediction card from now. And again, there's a month before this. WWE, especially tonight, this massive Netflix show, which they are treating like a PLE, they can go 1,000 different ways. I've said it now, and there's no going back. I mean, just for Rey Mysterio's not in this, which is absolutely nuts. Is there someone I can take out for? Maybe take out The Miz and put Rey Mysterio in it instead. I don't think The Miz necessarily needs to be in it. I just presume we would build Joe Hendry stuff. Have I put anybody in twice? Rey Mysterio will be in here too somewhere, right? That's why I shouldn't do these videos. I think you do have to put the entire vision in there. I was going to say you could take one out. Maybe Jimmy Uso's not in it. Ray will be in there, right? He's got to build his WrestleMania match. I don't have Dom, only because I don't know when his shoulder injury. I think you could put Rey Mysterio in this and Dom comes out and eliminates him, because we have that wonderful rule in the Rumble where you don't have to be in it to eliminate people. But he does have a shoulder injury, and people have said not long, but even by the Royal Rumble, it'd be like 4 weeks. I think he probably needs more than 4 weeks. But if Dom wants to be in it, that would be totally cool. That's my Royal Rumble card. Nobody else will have this because they're not nuts. I'm a little bit stupid, but you know what? You can let me know in the comments. And when you are down there, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is indeed me talking about Chris Jericho's return. Let's see how correct I can be with my dumb ideas. Otherwise, it is patreon.com/Simon316. Do please come and support my dumb watch-alongs. We are going daily. Be from tomorrow now. It's a long, boring story, but from tomorrow, it will be daily. All the videos are there, but the processing is... the processing won't work. I'll fix it later. I am an idiot. Otherwise, grillermind.com/Simon ships worldwide. Use the code Simon. Good fitness supplements. If you are trying to get in shape, this is what I would use. Do check them out and use my code to get some money off. Simon316 for my social media, and then TikTok, Cameo, and Pro Wrestling Tees if you would like to support me there. Thanks for all the cameos over the holidays. I thought that was super fun, and I hope you all had great times, I should say. Have even better 2026s, and let's get pumped for the Royal Rumble.